Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Knitique in Elk Grove, California, and KnitiqueYarns.com, coming to you live on this beautiful spring Friday. Sorry for the giggling. I could tell, because I'm usually the one holding the camera, I could tell that she hit start, it did its 3, 2, 1, it was like, and no, don't go, because trying to reconnect.
Yes.
And you're like, it just started. How are you already not connected? Like, you are a stupid device. What is wrong with you?
No, we like you, device. Be good.
Oh, the technology is dummy dumb.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about technology.
I mean, we're just going to blame it on Facebook because Facebook.
Yes.
They have weird issues sometimes. But, yeah, it's, I don't know. Some mornings it does that, and other mornings it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like I knew what was happening by her face.
I got half of a head nod, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
she was like,
I gotta hold still now.
No. Hold it in. No. Okay.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you, Lisa. We will talk about my sweater. So we have kind of a fun video for you guys this morning because we got in a new limited edition from Dream in Color. I get to announce like half of the grand prize because Danielle will bring in the other half next week. I can tell you that half of it is from La Bien-Aimée.
That's
I know
all we
what
know.
It is, but
oh, you do?
Describing it to you is no fun if you don't get to see it. So I will let you guys have a little bit of a mystery till next week. It is not another mystery package. It's just a mystery because it's not here yet. But I know what it is.
I do not know what it is.
That is true, because you were not here when I was talking
Yes.
to the boss lady on my watch, because I was pulling out stuff for prizes in the back when she called me, so all I had handy was my watch. So I'm like, all right.
Here we go.
We're doing this. Surprisingly good speaker in such a little tiny device.
Nice.
Because I could hear her just fine, she could hear me just fine. Like, that's impressive for a 2-inch square, not even
Right?
2-inch square. Like, how do they get enough speaker in that?
I don't know.
And yet some of those bigger Bluetooth speakers are like, this thing's garbage. How? They can make a teeny tiny one look amazing, but the big one doesn't function right. What's going on here? All right, so this is kind of fun for the new grand prize.
Yeah, I see a lot of things there.
Right? There's one beautiful skein of Dream in Color Smooshy Cashmere in one of the assigned pooling colorways. This is Bollywood, which is this beautiful, like, dark chocolate. It's got a little bit of, like, a redwood, red-brown, some taupe, with this splash of turquoise. And this time, instead of just one pattern, you get 3 patterns that are all assigned pooling patterns. So we have our Cobalt Comet Cowl, our new Froggy Kisses shawl, and the Parisian assignment. And we'll kind of like focus on a different one every day here and there so that you guys know kind of what each one is about, without monopolizing the whole video on Knitique patterns, because we could do that. We have enough of them. So today we'll talk about the Cobalt Comet Cowl, which is a bandana style cowl where you're doing a little mesh lace every time. So in this case, every time you come to the turquoise color, you do a little yarn over knit 2 together section. You've got a little increase down the middle, and then after you get it probably like 2/3 done, you switch to just doing mesh lace all the time and no more assigned pooling technique, just because having that mesh lace border all the way around is really pretty.
It is.
And so all of the patterns are one skein pooling yarn patterns, so you'll be able to pick from any of them with this beautiful skein of yarn. There's also going to be a set of our small iridescent rainbow steel stitch markers. These use a really fun technique called electroplating to make them this beautiful metallic rainbow. You can see purples and greens and golds and blues, and it's all from some sort of fancy machinery that makes pretty colors stick to the middle. And there are, I think, what are there, 16 of them?
16, yes.
So 16 markers that fit up to a size 8 needle, so they'll pair perfectly if you need to use markers on any of your projects. And then we will add 2 things from La Bien-Aimée next week.
2 things, wow.
Yes, a big thing and a little thing. Kind of like last time, a big thing and a little thing. And I have, well, you do too. We both have one of the things because she brought us.
Oh, yes, okay, yes.
It's very useful. Whoever wins is going to be a very lucky ducky. And how you get entered into our grand prize drawing is every time you make a purchase from the 1st through the
end of the month.
End of May, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to have to calculate that out. Any purchase in the month of May is going to get an entry, and it is cumulative. So if you purchase 3 times, you get 3 entries. If you purchase 10 times, you get 10 entries. It includes purchases made here in person, online at NitiqueYarns.com, and even over the phone with us. So every time you check out, that is what counts.
Kathy, we have yarn. Loves the pattern, just needs yarn.
We can solve that situation for you, and you may want to keep watching today's video because we may have yarn that goes with that now. Okay, today's daily prize deviates from the fingering weight yarn just a skosh. This is actually a bulky weight yarn. How funny, this is actually the color we designed it out of.
I know.
Or re-yarned it out of.
Re-yarned.
This is Juniper Moon Farm Nimbus Paints, which is a bulky weight Israeli Mako cotton and nylon blend. This is colorway 602 Atlantis Sunstorm. Beautiful lavenders and golds, and it's hiding in the middle of the skein somewhere. There we go. Some pretty rose pink. You can see it really well in the picture on our pattern here. So we're pairing it with our Dath Cowl pattern, which is a bulky weight cowl that's mostly knit 2 purl 2 ribbing. You have a little cable section and then knit 2 purl 2 ribbing again. But the cable section is at like the 2/3 point, so you get that kind of fun asymmetric look with your cowl. And how you get entered into the daily drawing is by what you guys are already doing, is interacting with the video. So every reaction to the video gets 1 entry. That's these lovely little bubbles down here. Every comment on the video gets 5 entries. I like Good Morning Sunshine, so we'll do that. And then if you share the video to your friends, to your stories, wherever you share, just come back to that day's video and type shared to and where. It's just weird to type shared with no info. And then you will get 11 entries per share. That is cumulative as well, so the more of these things you do, the more entries you get into the daily drawing. And today's winner will be drawn off of yesterday's video interactions. So let's see who our winner is.
Linda Simpson, congratulations. I do believe you are not local.
She's not.
So you should come visit us. It's just a little airplane ride. If you don't want to hop on an airplane, let us know next time you make a purchase that you have a prize, and we will include it in your shipment. If you win and you are local, let us know. She says pass it on.
Oh, okay. Hold please while I see if I closed out of the equipment. I did not. Okay.
So all right.
We will swivel back here and hit pick another winner and try again.
Debbie Harrison, congratulations. So if you're local, let us know when you come in. You have a prize, and we'll get it from the cabinet.
I think she is local.
I think local enough. And you should check your messages. I think we got an answer to your question for today.
Yay.
But I didn't want to touch anything on the phone. I might,
No, don't do
I might
that.
do something rash.
It'll leave the video.
That would not be good.
I mean, I don't think it'll leave it all the way, but we'll come back to a million text messages of frozen,
Yeah.
frozen, frozen.
While she checks that, we'll take a quick look at the LYS Love Shawl. I believe we talked about this yesterday.
Oh gosh, I never found that.
Nice fun lace pattern. We still have some pretty kits, so we did sell quite a few yesterday, so they're going fast. This is all that's left that's kitted up, but of course you can choose 2 skeins of Cosette in any color you choose. Yeah, let's see. LYS Love Shawl, and if you, whoops, glare. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to put a QR code back on everything, and you just scan that with your phone. It will take you directly to the pattern. Eliminates typos, which I am famous for doing when I'm searching things.
Okay, I get why I couldn't find it. It's because it's not originally a pooling pattern.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
And then they just threw in their Violet Fields stitch. You guys will understand my weird aside here in a moment. Let me grab my link.
While she links, we'll look at some pretty earrings. They are cultured pearl, I believe sterling silver.
Yes, I wear them all the time. And I have sensitive ears, like, you know, they'll get all hot and swollen because they're like, nope, gross stuff is touching me.
Oh dear.
And this does not cause that problem. So, it is good, good stuff.
Thank you, Claudia.
All right, so, without further ado, we have the latest and greatest colorway of the Dream in Color Pop-Up Club in Smooshy Cashmere. This is a fingering weight yarn, 400 yards per skein of scrumptious superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. So it's exquisitely soft. And this is one of the new pooling technique colorways that they're doing. So I'm going to take this off. This is the May colorway. All right, well, pinning's looking weird today. There we go. It is. This is gorgeous.
Ooh, it's even prettier when it's open.
Right?
Look at that section. That's gorgeous.
You've got like rippling waters of like teal and turquoise. Then this kind of sand golden taupe color. It's very creamy. And then this beautiful rich blossom of crimson red. It's like a little flower. It makes me think of like rose petals floating on the water. Like if somebody was trying to create like a romantic vibe. You've got like the pretty sparkling water and then the rose petals floating on top. And if you want to create that effect without having to buy roses and go to the beach, you just get a beautiful skein of yarn. This color is so, so pretty. And I wanted to find the picture of their project, which I don't know. Maybe it's on Instagram. Because the original pattern that they used this color for, oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Did you find it?
I saw it somewhere.
Oh, how cute.
So the original pattern doesn't have the pooling stitch. So what they did is they took this stitch from the Violet Fields scarf, or Field of Violets. I can never remember which way is which because one's yarn and one's pattern. But it's this cute little, like, kind of bow tie little scarf. It's knit in the round like knitting a pair of socks. You've got a little tapered end on each side. I wish I could zoom in, but I cannot. But maybe this picture shows it a little better. You can see all the, whoa, apparently that's a video. You can see all the little flower stitch sections. Oh, maybe she's going to show us how she does the flower. I wish there was sound, but okay. We'll just be mesmerized by watching other people knit. I'm like, I'm sucked in.
Like, now I understand why kids watch video games on video, you know?
I guess if you're into video games, it would have that same mesmerizing kind of feel as watching people knit, because it's like...
That, and you learn how to clear the level.
I get it if they're watching it to learn how to beat a level they're stuck on, but some of these kids just watch hours and hours of Minecraft, and I'm like, why? Why don't you build stuff yourself?
She got up to the next...
She, like,
zoomed
jumped ahead on her video. But, so, she's just following... I'll show you the pattern in a moment, but she's following Amba O'Brien's pattern and adding this cute little flower stitch. It's like she's wrapping the yarn around all those elongated stitches from dropping the wraps. It really is mesmerizing.
Oh, wait.
And then voila! That was the end of the stitch.
I know.
Then she just goes on to straight knitting. But that is, okay, let me close that. This pattern, Sweet Little Scarfette by Amba O'Brien. Just adding that Field of Violets stitch to it. So I like that they did that. It shows you guys that you can basically do the pooling technique on anything. Like, you don't have to find a pooling pattern. If you have a fun stitch that you want to do with the splash of color and a simple pattern like this, do it. Pooling yarn is a chance to experiment. And look, it's a free pattern.
Nice.
We'll just add that to our library because it is really cute.
Karen.
Right? Like, you're going to whip something out for us, right, Karen? She'd whip this out this weekend.
She
No
would.
problem.
She would.
So that is the May pop-up colorway. We'll worry about twisting that back up later.
After my picture.
We'll have to give you one twisted so that you can do this kind of thing or something. This is the previous pop-up club colorway, which is also really fun. This
is like that one.
You've got peach and a dusty olive and cream with this splash of soft turquoise. Little more of a powdery blue turquoise than the one in the May colorway.
Okay, Patty. We can just wind it for her.
Okay. Hey, we have a surprise for you if you want a project, by the way.
Oh, yes.
We rewound it last night.
We wound?
I know.
I know, it's hard.
I cannot talk today. My brain has forgotten how to communicate with my mouth.
Yes, Beverly, wear this instead of a turtleneck.
Oh, yes. And then that way, if you're somewhere that it gets a little warmer, you can actually get rid of the extra warmth without being like, I really should have brought another shirt.
Mm-hmm. Patty is excited.
And there are so many fun projects for the pooling yarns. This is the shawl version of the cowl that you just did.
Yes.
This is the Pinup Rainbows shawl. Just that simple triangular boomerang style shape, but with this really fun stitch, which if you're like, that looks hard, we're actually doing a class coming up for the cowl version called Getting Smocky with It, because it is a variation on how to do a smock stitch. And this is also a one Skein Wonder level project, although they do have ranges to make it bigger if you want, but that would be really long at 1,200 yards. I do not recommend.
That'd be really...
I do not recommend.
No, not with a boomerang shape.
It'd be like a 20-foot long scarf.
It'd be a Doctor Who shawl.
Right? Then this one's fun, just a simple triangular shawl with little elongated wrap stitches.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, you're just basically every stitch knit wrapping twice until you run out of that pooling color, and then go back to knitting regular. So just little
that's super
blips
fun
of something interesting, nothing crazy. It's funny, I had to show you guys a project because a bunch of people have made it, but there's no picture.
You're right.
I'm like, what?
I looked at that one this morning. I was like,
Yeah, like, how does this have no picture. What is happening here? So, you know, whoops.
Sue, will we be providing directions for the fingering weight cowl class? Everything is on our website. I'm a little unclear what you're asking.
Like, do you mean, like, what do you need for the class? Or, like, is the class going to teach you how to do the stitch? Because, I mean, the answer to all of those is yes.
Pattern was written for DK, but I used fingering because I didn't read.
As long as you get gauge is really all that matters. So I wouldn't worry about it too terribly much. Okay. Karen said, wait, what was that? But I don't know which thing that was on. I'm like, what, you mean the thing about you knitting a scarf this weekend?
Yeah. I think you just linked it. Don't worry, Karen. We'll show you when you come in.
And there are lots more options for pooling colorways. Some of them are, so I'm going to switch the link here because these two were under the pop-up club. These next ones are going to be under the regular Smooshy Cashmere product. We have that fabulous color that you can see knitted up behind me. This is Big Bang, which is hot pink with violet highlights, and then your splash of color is this gorgeous like neon melon. It's kind of corally orange and pink, so it's a little bit of everything bright and wonderful.
She's getting more patterns for us.
But you guys can see how beautiful that color is in our Froggy Kisses pattern. I really can't talk today. Behind me, this one is a crescent-shaped shawl where you do plain, eyelet row, pooling stitch, eyelet row, plain, different pooling stitch, border, picot button. And the border is just garter stitch. Nothing craziness in the border. And that is also a one skein wonder level project. Oh, see, the pattern is Field of Violets because here is Violet Fields, which is a really pretty kind of more golden greens, lime greens, a little bit of like kind of more of a foresty scorched lime green, and then this beautiful periwinkle violet splash. I love where that color mixes in with the green. You get this really pretty like lavender sage gray. It's one of those things that you're like, I don't know how that came out a pretty color, but
that's what I was just thinking. There's no unhappy mixing. It's all gorgeous.
Then there's also that beautiful Bollywood colorway that we showed in the grand prize today. So that dark chocolate, the redwood, kind of like burgundy brown, some kind of like charcoal gray brown, a little darker than pewter and a little warmer.
They were calling it mint chip ice cream. Mint chocolate.
Yeah, it's like chocolate ice cream with mint chips instead of mint ice cream with chocolate chips. Because you've got this beautiful splash of that minty turquoise color.
You made the pattern, Elizabeth. Awesome. Everybody, please post your things on Ravelry.
Yes, we always want to see projects. And the other designers out there also want to see projects too.
That's a fun one.
This is the Pool Party Shawl. This one is ridiculously easy. Like, this is your therapy knit. It's a garter stitch shawl with basic increases at the edge. And then everywhere that your pooling color exists, you do it in stockinette.
Nice.
So you can see, like, it looks more smooth right here where the dark purple is. because they did little splashes of stockinette amidst the garter. Let's see if this one will zoom in a little more. It's hard to see.
Like, is that stockinette?
Yeah, because then it is over here.
Okay, though, the white is the stockinette. I'm trying to make the purple the stockinette. I'm backwards.
The colorway that she designed it with, I'll show you, is way less like of a small assigned pooling section.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to see. It'll actually have a better look in the smaller little pooling pops. You'll get those stockinette sections standing out more. She did hers with what would be 1.5 skeins. But I'm still going to say you could do a 1 skein version because hers is 85 inches
Whoa.
wingspan. That's a pretty big shawl. It doesn't need to be that big. Then we have Little Buds. This is a cute little boomerang style shawl with these cute little, like, they look like mini baubles. Like, where's that lime green picture right here? They look like little mini scrunchy baubles. I don't know what they are, but they're cute.
Ooh, I just had an idea. Darn it.
And that one is another one that could easily be a 1 skein wonder or a 2 skein if you want a little bigger shawl. One more. This is the Spontaneity shawl.
That's fun.
They're like wings.
They are. That's awesome. Oh, I know how they... No, well, maybe. How'd they do that?
I want to say they're like knit several rows below elongated stitches or something. And sometimes they skipped the color because you can see just this whole long section of knit stitches. So you can skip the color sometimes if it's pooling too much. Like if all your little triangles are landing on top of one another, just skip it. Really fun, simple triangular shawl just with that really cute stitch. With the rainbow color, it looks like a kaleidoscope exploded.
Yeah.
It's really fun. 1 to 2 skeins, depending on what size you want to make.
Super fun.
All right. I gotta switch my link again here.
Computer tip, if you see a link you like, just right click and say open a new tab, and then if you're on a computer, then you can come back to it later. Because sometimes I know we put a lot of links up. Unfortunately, we can't pin more than 1 link at a time. I wish I could.
Right?
That kind of drives me batty sometimes.
Could we just have a little page, like little sidebar of links only instead of them lost amidst the comments? Could you add that, Facebook?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, Claudia said say that again, please. You mean about how to have the tab open for later?
Yeah, so go over the link you want to click on, right click, and say open in new tab. It should be the first little thing that pops up at the top of the menu that comes up. Here, we will show you.
So here's our link. I'm going to right click, and then you have open in new tab, new window. I don't know what an incognito window is, but you just click that, and it pops up in a new window over here, so that way you don't leave the video, but it's sitting there waiting for you for later.
That's how I have so many links for you guys. I've got them all open in separate tabs, and then I just copy and paste.
She has tabs that are like this big by the time she's done opening all those tabs.
Little teeny tiny.
It stresses me out because I can't read what anything is. I'm like, too many tabs.
I close them when I'm done. I love this one.
All right, now we're moving on to some of our Knitique exclusive colorways. This is one of the ones that came in just in time for stitches. This is Ember Glow with its fiery reds, persimmon orange. There's a little bit of like vermilion pink red where the colors overlap. Some kind of gold. There's a little blush right here. And then your pooling splash is this dark chocolate color. I feel like this is one of those that I need to open.
Open,
we
open.
haven't shown this one much before. We do not have a sample knit up in this color because we are literally down to a handful of skeins already because of LYS Day. I think I said stitches earlier. It felt like stitches because it was very busy.
Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty.
So you can see your little splash section and then that gorgeous fiery background. Okay, this color's not going to last long enough for us to knit a sample. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to get more, but you never know.
I think this is my favorite part right here.
Right? It's so pretty. And then here's one of our exclusives that I know you guys have all seen before. This is Cobalt Comet. I know you've all seen it because I showed you the pattern this morning. So this is a beautiful pewter and silver background. You can see it goes a little bit charcoal in the darkest points. And then that splash of Danielle's favorite blue, the cobalt blue. I love it kind of turns a navy as it blends into the gray. So kind of a more classic goes with everything kind of color. And that is also one of our exclusive colorways, which is what is currently pinned. But here's a few more project ideas for you guys. We have the synchronized swimming scarf. This one's fun. This is one of those you don't really need to do a pooling technique with the yarn. You're just going to get some really fun looks because sometimes you're knitting like all the way across the width of the scarf and then you do like this little short row section done this direction.
What?
So you get bigger,
awesome.
Like in her yarn, it almost gave like a coral snake kind of vibes of those little block sections. You can see it's nice and long. I like that it has an I-cord edging so that it's not too curly on the edges. She's got it tucked up like a cowl. And that one is also a 1 to 2 skein project depending on how big you want to make your scarf. But this one's just going to let you have the colors do what they do and create some fun designs as they shift. And then we have the Floriker pooling shawl that has like these big flowers.
That's really pretty.
And you can see like she probably wanted the flowers to be a certain number of stitches. And so sometimes the way the color landed, like this one, you can see it still had a little bit of white left in it. But we can only see that because we've zoomed in. If you zoom back out, no one's going to know if your pooling didn't quite match up with the flower stitch. And it's just really pretty. This one must be a 2 skein one because that is a big shawl. They look like little spaceships.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 skeins. Alright, then we have one more Smooshy exclusive, which is going to be under a separate link for you guys. So let me switch this out. And there we go.
Try and get them all in the picture.
Alright, so then we have our Froggy Kisses that lots of you guys saw for LYS Day, but we ordered plenty so that nobody would miss out. This is basically scorched lime for the background, and then Jocelyn for, or no, Liberation for the pink splash. So you've got that more olivey, almost avocado green, and then that bright fuchsia pink. Very Knitique in this one. And this one, a sample will be coming soon.
Yes.
We do have a cowl sample, but we're going to do a bigger project that is like a full skein one. But this,
Whoa.
and it's on the floor. This one is the Getting Smocky with It cowl class. That is not the name of the pattern. We don't name the classes after the pattern unless it's our pattern because copyright is a thing and we don't want to skirt the line too much. So this is that really fun variation on a smock stitch where you're doing what's referred to as smocking with the pink, and then on the following row, or 3 rows later, so many rows later, you pick up and knit all those strands in so it tucks it up into this little rainbow shape. Or if you flip it upside down, they look more like flowers.
Yeah. That was a fun one.
But this is the cast on edge here, so this is technically right side up.
It's a cowl. It doesn't matter.
Right? It doesn't matter. Pull it over your head whichever way you like better, and that's the right way. So this was about a half skein of this gorgeousness.
Butterflies, yes.
Yeah, little butterflies. But then, if you love this color but wish it wasn't fingering weight, we also have it in their Dream in Colors super fun single ply worsted weight yarn called Riley. Riley is a 100% superwash merino and is 220 yards per skein. And I just came across some really cute, they're all the same designer, but some really cute worsted weight pooling patterns this morning that would be perfect for this. So let me pop them in the links. So there's a really cute cinched hat called Pooling is a Cinch. So they've done this little crosshatch stitch.
Whoa, that's fun.
Where the color splashes are. I'd put a little more border on my hat than this. I know they did it because they're also making it a convertible cowl, but it's a little flippy. So I'd probably double the width of the garter border that they did to give a little more structure. But it's super cute that you can uncinch it and have it be a cowl, or you can cinch it, tie your little I-cord in a bow, and you have a hat in a pinch. That is the Pooling is a Cinch hat. That is a 1 skein project. Then we have Fanfare. This designer clearly likes the hat versus cowl option. But this has that little like knit below. Here's a good close-up of the stitch.
Oh, fun.
Like knit so many rows below in different places to create this little elongated flower stitch. And you can see it can be a cowl or it can be a hat. And typical, the cat is photobombing the picture. Because that's what they do.
I didn't have it out far enough to see that. That's funny.
And then that is also a 1 skein of Riley level project. One more. This one was my favorite. Firefly Trails. This one is like that little starburst flower stitch that was in that accidentally discovered video this morning. But in worsted weight, so super fast.
Nice.
Little garter stitch border on the cowl, and voila. 1 skein.
Super fun.
Oh yeah, you could use those hats, Claudia, as a ponytail hat if you had enough.
Oh yeah.
I definitely do not anymore. Could have done that last week. Cannot do that this week. So that is all the beautiful assigned pooling colorways we have throughout the various lines of the new Pop-Up Club, Smooshy Cashmere, exclusives, worsted. All the bases are covered. Okay, let me link the class calendar and then we'll go talk about some classes for you guys. So coming up on Tuesday, we have the Lewisian shawl out of 3 colors of DK weight yarn. This one is done in Cosette, but if you wanted to make a summery version, you could use like Sonata, would be really nice for a cotton version. But all you need is 3 contrasting colors. And then in class, we're going to teach you the I-cord edging, how to do this really fun starburst stitch, and how to change colors. So lots of bases covered in a 2-hour class. Then on Friday, May 12th, we have the Tablon Cowl. This one is a really fun variation on Fisherman's Rib. It is only a 4-row repeat, and 3 of them are knit 1, purl 1. It's round 4 that makes all the magic happen. And so you just need worsted weight yarn, 1 to 2 skeins of most of the yarns. This one is Dream in Color Classy Cashmere, but you could use Rios, Barocco Renew. If you want a cotton one, you could do Cumulus. There's really no limits. Then on Tuesday, May 16th, we have we called the class This Way, That Way. That is this beautiful shawl that we showed you guys the kits for yesterday. So you're knitting the center panel of lace first, and then you pick up stitches off of the side of that panel right here and knit that way. Thus you go this way and then that way. And that is 2 skeins of Cosette. We do have kits, but any other Cosette that you want, of course, you can get. Just make sure it is a solid or very nearly solid. The variegateds will lose all your beautiful lace work. Then on Friday, May 19th, is that Getting Smocky With It one that we showed you guys on the counter. That one will teach you how to do that smocking stitch as well as picking it up to create that little rainbow shape. Then on Tuesday, May 23rd, we have the Slipped Dots hat. So if you've been wanting to try your hand at mosaic knitting, this is a very beginner-friendly version. Just knits, purls, slip stitches, nothing crazy. So you have a little pre-work on this one to do a knit through the back loop on the pattern. And so knit through the back loop, purl one all the way around for like an inch, and then you'll be ready for class. And we do have kits for this one. They are the Jefferson Beanie kits. This one is our exclusive colorway abalone with prickly pear. Then last but not least, we have the Parisian assignment shawl class starting Friday, May 26th. This one is another one of our fun assigned pooling designs. It's that boomerang triangle shape with a little sawtooth border, including on the bind off edge so that you're getting that consistency. And it has this fun little stitch that you only do on the right side, so it makes it pop out a little bit more. Because you can see like that's more of like the garter ridge, and then this is actually a fun little stitch. So we'll teach you how to do the shaping, the sawtooth border, and that stitch in class. Claudia, this way, that way, and wear it another way. Exactly. You're getting my vibes, Claudia. I like it. Okay, let me pop the links to what we're wearing in here so that we can cover that. All right, so thank you all, because I've seen lots of comments of I love your sweater this morning. This is ground pepper. It was originally done with like speckle yarn that were mini skeins so that you could blend out your colors, but you could do it in any fingering or sport weight yarn. This was technically sport weight, but I'll tell you the gauge is totally fingering weight, to where if you just wanted to do some
that'd be
lusciousness,
pretty.
I grabbed the wrong skein. This is the worsted, but if you wanted to do some lusciousness.
Pretty.
You could do this without doing anything pooling to the pooling color, and it would still be really amazing. I love this sweater. It's lightweight but warm, and the V-neck is like just right. This is the pattern I want to take and do a cardigan out of cashmere ombre. Like, yes. I'm just gonna, when you hit that point where they tell you to join in the round, I'm just gonna say no, and I'm going to knit, pearl, knit, pearl, knit, pearl, instead of joining. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the only modification that really needs made to the pattern. I will put a little bit of like a garter edging on though, because I am going to use one of the ombre colors, and I would like it to not go the opposite direction here, as
yeah.
So. Minor mods, because I can't find a cardigan that has this shape. So fine, I'll make my own.
Yeah.
Because I needed cashmere ombre in my life. It needed to be a thing. And voila, Susan is wearing...
I dug super deep in the archives of the chest this morning. This one is Field of Flowers, and I made this 15 years ago. This is an old one.
Yeah, because I've been here almost 12 years now, yeah. And that was hanging on the mirror.
Yeah.
When I started working here. This is one of those what they call a wedding ring shawl, because it is so lightweight that you can pull it through your wedding ring.
We tested it. It went through my skinny ring. So you start with the center square, and then you do have to pick up stitches on 3 of the sides, and then you do a feather and fan border. And it has a knitted on. I can't believe I did that. It's a knitted on border.
That is a lot of fancy knitting. But tell them when you did it.
I did this when we first opened. My son was 2 years old, and I would sit at the original rectangle table. He would sit on my lap and play with his cards on the table, and I would sit there and knit behind his back, basically, with him in my lap.
So she knitted this very delicate yarn with this pay attention lace pattern with a toddler on her lap.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, you guys. if where there's a will, there's a way. You can knit the things.
And then he proceeded to try and drive his cars over it while I was blocking it.
Ouch.
And that's when I said, all right, Sesame Street TV it is.
Like, all right, fine, you can have the technology.
Yeah.
This is a Fiber Trends pattern.
Yes.
We did link it for you guys, but it is Fiber Trends for the designer. And yes, that is lace weight yarn. Can you imagine a Cashmere Dreams version of this?
Yes, I could.
Yes,
I could.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I could, yes.
Clearly she can, and
yes.
We'll see how long she takes to squeeze that one in. It's like, no, I'm not knitting another one.
Nope.
One of you guys should knit one.
Yes.
It would be amazing.
It can also be done in worsted weight. You guys can make it into a blanket, so
that would be
not to fear.
Blanket.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. We'll be open 11 to 5 today. Have a good day. Bye.